A few weeks ago, I did my workshop of the week was on Google Connected Classrooms, and basically the premise behind Google Connected Classrooms is to bring the world into your class. So instead of having to worry about trying to schedule busing and paperwork and trying to find money, you can now bring experts that you otherwise really, even if you did bring your kids off site, you would never have access to. So let's first off take a little look at their introductory video because I think it really gets through what the whole premise is behind Google Connected Classrooms.
Today we did a virtual field trip. Schools from across the country were able to join us via a Google Hangout. It's really easy to connect us with the whole wide world.
Do octopuses see in color?
Ah, very good question. Actually, no, they do not. They are colorblind.
And we are, for the first time in history, with this space station, we're leaving Earth. And it is just too good an experience not to share.
You want to say hello to Max? Say hi, Max.
There you are. Hi. Wonderful.
Hi, everyone.
So pretty cool. Now, Google Connected Classrooms uses the Google Plus platform, which for teachers we have access to, but for students you do not. The good place to get started is to search for their website. So if you just search for Google Connected Classrooms, then you'll come to this web page, and this one will give you a list of upcoming field trips across the bottom, as well as a calendar in order to see what's coming up and what's come from the past. Now, the nice thing about on here is that if you look back, then you can see what field trips were held on which date, and you can actually access a YouTube archive of the Hangout, so you can use it for in the future. So if you were to participate live in one of these events, but then you wanted to include it, for example, in a presentation to the faculty body, or if you wanted to use it the next quarter or trimester, then this would be a great way to be able to access that later. You can filter the results across the top to be only certain subject matters, which can make it really easy to find information. And then once you find an event, then you can click on it. Let's go to one that's current. So when we find an event that we want to participate in, for example, on Friday, there's going to be a Hangout, and let's see. You'll notice that it opened up in my Google Plus page, and we are looking at the future of medicine with Dr. Daniel Kraft. And when you look at this page, you can participate in this page even if you are not actually video chatting with the doctor, with Dr. Daniel Kraft. You can access it by clicking on the link here in order to open up the live feed when this Hangout is being held. Now, if you are interested in participating as a classroom, if you scroll down on the right-hand side and read the details, there is usually a form, for example, right here, where when you click on it, it then opens up a Google form that you can fill out to basically express interest in which Hangout on air you would like to participate in. In this case, you can sign up for more than one. So this can be really useful if you want to be one of those classrooms that you saw across the bottom of the page that's actually live chatting with the person that they're interviewing or talking to the zoologist, then that would be how you can do it. But you can also just open up the feed, for example, from here, and then on this screen you'll be able to ask questions through the right hand side, and then and then the presenter would actually answer those questions for you live within the feed. So that's pretty cool. A lot of I think the neatest ones are offered by zoos and other sort of animal related fields, and that's where you saw a lot of them in the video. But there are, for example, a lot of them this month have dealt with the magic of math. So for example, this particular hangout, once it loads, so magical math. So this guy came on, I actually did participate in this hangout myself, and he came on and talked about the magic of card games, and a lot of the students that were involved were really engaged because they wanted to learn how they could do this with their friends. So it turned math from something that was really boring that they didn't want a part of to something that was really awesome and cool and engaging, and got them some good skills and tricks that they could do with their friends. So that is the premise behind Google Hangouts, Google Connected Classroom Hangouts. There are a lot more resources on this page. The first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is that you join the community. And when you register through here, you're going to be given access to the Google Hangout community, which if you've never been on Google+, then this is a really good place for you to connect with, especially other teachers. It's basically like Facebook, but it's not. It's really geared towards the social nature of online instead of what you typically hear about for Facebook. So for the Google Connected Classrooms workshop page, when you're accepted into it, it basically gives you a heads up as to what's coming, and some of the field trips that they have on here are not field trips that are listed on the website because some organizations host them on their own. They're not connected with Connected Classrooms necessarily. The other thing that I wanted to point out to you is that there are all of these tour guides across the bottom, and when you are on Google+, you can follow all these pages. So for example, I'm already following the Mathematical Association of America, and I have a circle set up on Google+ for virtual field trips. So what that means is that whenever they post stuff into my feed, then I can search, I can look at just field trips within my Google Plus community. So when I open up this page, these are all the organizations that I'm following so far for Connected Classrooms, and if I was looking to do a field trip with my kids, then my circle is a good place where I could come through and look. Sometimes they're not hangouts, they're just, you know, posts like this one where they're talking about meerkats at Zoo Atlanta, and then other ones are looking at, for example, the Google Cultural Institute, Math Minutes. The Google Science Fair has been really cool. So all these are opportunities or things that you can bring into your classroom pretty easily. We actually had a teacher at the middle school after I originally presented this who that day was using one of the math connected classrooms. The Mathematical Association of America was talking about March Madness and the math behind the brackets, and at least the teacher was really engaged. I think that the kids that liked basketball and were engaged in how that would happen were really interested in what was going on. So there's all kinds of stuff on their page, and then one last little thing that I did want to point out is that they do have an FAQs for teachers. So if you are interested in how you can have this happen in your classroom, you can obviously talk to me, but this also gets you step by step what's going on, what you need to do to prepare, and some examples of some case studies that they have linked on here. So Google Connected Classrooms, especially for our kiddos here in rural Maine, would be a great thing to bring outside resources in your classroom very easily. And as you create more and more connections through Google+, you can increase your opportunities for connections to other classrooms that are not just museums and stuff like that. You can actually connect to other classrooms across the nation. So that would be the next step to take. If you're interested in setting this up in your classroom, or if you have a particular subject matter that you would like me to find you a hangout for or a mystery classroom to connect to, then certainly just let me know and I will be more than happy to help you out. I think this is a really fun tool and one that I definitely wish that I knew about when I was in the classroom.